Hello. All right, we're gonna start part two of this in a minute. I'm just gonna stay on the screen for just a little bit longer. Just read things out. I don't even know of it. And yeah, we're kind of in an interesting part right now. Another part that probably screwed up a lot of kids' playthroughs back in the day, assuming they got this far. I did not mean to do that. Restore. There we go. Alright, we're back here. And if we go along this path, I believe.
Look, an intruder! Hold! How did you get up here, human?
I climbed the cliffs.
That is not possible. No one has solved the cliffs of logic in several centuries. And if the cliffs were to be solved, it would certainly not be by a human.
I didn't mean to trespass. I only wanted to visit this beautiful island.
No visitors have been welcome on the Isle of the Sacred Mountain in years. Not since the Red and White Queens had spies in the guise of friendly visitors steal our island's sacred golden fleece. But we will not display such foolish trust again. You will have to answer to Lord Azure and Lady Ariel. They will determine what will be done with you. I can assure you, it will not be pleasant.
Well, it's been 5 seconds and already things aren't going well for us.
With what trickery did you master the cliffs of logic and reach the city of the winged ones?
Online,
Only
the
magic
instruction
of
book.
clear thought, my lord. I meant no harm.
The Cliffs of Logic. It is the sacred oracle's prophecy, Azure.
Yes, Ariel. It is lucky for you, human, that climbing the cliffs of logic is part of a prophecy that I cannot ignore. We have just been ordered by Wazir Al-Hazred himself to dispose of any strangers that might land on our fair isle. But the prophecy would have a different fate befall you.
The prophecy predicts that whosoever climbs the Cliffs of Logic will defeat the Minotaur.
I can't even escape the Minotaur here,
has
huh?
violated our sacred catacombs and eats our young in sacrifice. Our own daughter, Lady Celeste, was taken there only this morning as his most recently demanded offering.
Yo, Celeste.
A dilemma, then. Whom shall I obey in regards to your fate? The oracle or the crown? But since Al-Hazred did not dictate how I was to dispose of intruders, and since you cannot possibly survive the catacombs, your imprisonment there should serve both purposes quite admirably.
I will not resist you in this, my lord. I shall do my best to save your daughter.
All I wanted to do was get
First,
inside
I
of a
must tell
castle.
you
Now
that
I
the
gotta do all
catacombs
this.
are a labyrinth of rooms, a place of exceeding danger. You will need many tools and clear wits to survive it.
I am ready.
Very well. My guards will take you there now. You seem courageous enough, but the catacombs will determine how brave you really are.
So this is interesting. So something to note here, if they're gonna bring me there immediately. Oh. Yes, okay.
Did you tell Lord Azure you were ready and willing to face the catacombs? No one is ever ready, and only a fool could be willing.
And you are far wiser, I suppose, to leave a maiden to die? To not fight this plague on your own people?
Bravery and suicide are two different things, human. You will have a chance to renounce your choice soon enough, when you lay trembling under the Minotaur's hooves.
We shall see. Thanks for the escort.
We only escort you to your death. May the fates make it quick so that you do not have to scream long.
Okay, they shoved me in there immediately. That's a good sign. You see, in a surprising bit of mercy, you need 3 different items to survive in this place. If you do not have those 3 items and you go in here, you're doomed. You cannot win the game. Because you can't leave this place until you beat the Minotaur. Now, in a surprising bit of mercy, the game will warn you once, and only once, if you do not have all 3 items. The guards will say, instead of just shoving you in there, the guards will be like, we'll give you time to prepare, human. I mean, they don't tell you why they're letting you prepare. And they won't stop you the second time. So, like, if you the game will still let you go inside here with all of the items. It'll just warn you once, very vaguely.
The catacomb's entrance door is locked from the outside by the Winged One's guards. It seems that leaving the catacombs by that door is not an option.
Thank you, Mr. Narrator. One of them is the shop items. You need the tinderbox. So if you have any of the other 3 items, you're doomed. Wait, is it the tinderbox you need? I can't remember. No, yeah, it is tinderbox. Yes, if you don't have the tinderbox, you're doomed. Okay, head north. Alright, let me see now. So this place, you know, since it's a labyrinth, it's a total maze. So if you go in the wrong direction, eventually...
As he walks through the doorway, Alexander gets a very bad feeling about this room.
Yeah, if you just go the wrong way, you die.
Tickets. Oh. Next.
Don't just wander, Alexander. Let your conscience be your guide.
Uh-huh.
The catacombs, it seems that leaving the...
Let's save this so we don't have to see the narrator talk again. You just gotta go the right direction. East. Is the man... I can't remember if the manual helps you with this or if it literally is just trial and error.
Alexander hears the distant sounds of a wild animal somewhere in the maze of rooms.
Oh yeah, the Minotaur is walking around, so, you know, don't get lost or else you're gonna run into him. You might run into him. And that's not fun. By the way, one of the items you need in this place is a hole in the wall.
Alexander puts the hole in the wall on the wall. It seems to shudder in revulsion at the mere touch of the cold stone. Alexander peers through the hole in the wall and sees nothing of interest.
So, the hole in the wall. There's only one specific wall you need to use it on. And if you... Sometimes when you put the hole in the wall on specific walls, it will just run away, and you need to keep exploring the maze to find it again. But if you screw up and put the hole in the wall on too many wrong walls, then eventually you're just going to end up dying because you might want to enter a room where you need it, but you don't have it. Thankfully, it's pretty obvious what room you're supposed to use it on, so that's not as terrible. Now, it's very hard to see in
A
here.
lone skull lies on the ground among the skeletons. Where the skull came from is a mystery, since the other remains seem to have their skulls intact.
The third item.
Alexander picks up the skull.
Well, we'll see. Alright, we get the skull. And... West. North. West. Oh boy, a puzzle room. I'm pretty sure this is another copyright protection thing. It might be, anyway.
A carving of a scythe adorns that tile.
Well, I'm sure we can just ignore it.
Alexander decides to make a beeline for the exit from his current location. Alexander feels the tile he's standing on shift beneath his feet. Apparently not a good idea.
Oof. You can see a little bit of blood there. Man, this one has just scared the hell out of kids back in the day playing this.
3 spikes and you're out.
This whole area must have, like, scared so many kids. Alright. Tiles. North. Southwest. North. Concentrate on these puzzles. Be very careful where I click. Make sure you click on the blank tile too. Okay. Lab 4. Gonna make a lot of saves here because this area is kind of insane. Alright.
Alexander hears a low growling, so faint as to seem born of his fired imagination rather than of any living creature. An old wooden shield hangs on the wall.
Might as well grab it. As long as it ain't nailed down.
Alexander takes the shield from the wall.
Okay. Next. I think keep going. The shield. Let me get that shield on the wall. Okay. Oh boy.
Trap. The doors have sealed Alexander inside. And the ceiling is coming down.
Actually, just save a lab 4. Okay, so this is where we use the third item we need, but
Alexander is carrying a human skull.
you know one thing we can do, that the game lets you do, because the game is really mean, it'll let you use the skull that you get inside of here.
Desperate to stop the crushing ceiling, Alexander throws a skull into the grinding gears.
The game will let you do
The
this.
skull is caught between 2 cogs. The gears shriek and shudder. The skull begins to bulge.
Uh-oh!
With a sudden lurch, the ceiling completes its descent
Yikes!
and presses Alexander into the floor like a bug under a heel. That skull wasn't strong enough to endure the pressure, and neither is Alexander's.
The false hope, indeed.
Tickets out. Next.
Alexander never was much good at squash.
Actually, I think I missed something. Let's go back to lab 3. Very easy to miss things here. North, southwest, southwest, north, north. Northwest, southwest, south. Okay. North.
Alexander takes the shield from the wall.
Okay, now we go north again. Yep, they give you false hope by thinking, oh yeah, sure, the item you got in this place will totally work. Yeah, it doesn't. That's where the third item comes in. If you don't have that, you're doomed. As soon as you get to that room. Twice, take the coin.
It's a trap. The doors have sealed Alexander inside. And the ceiling is coming down.
Well, hopefully I can go back. I think I might have gotten... I think I'm not supposed to come here yet, but I'm sure I can go back. Okay. What you actually need to use
The brick feels very...
is the brick.
In a desperate move, Alexander throws a brick into the grinding gears. The brick is caught between two cogs. The gears shriek and shudder. The mechanism grinds to a halt. The ceiling is stuck. The trap is sprung.
Alright, let's exit. Go back in. Because I missed something. We go this way. Oh, that is mean. Look at that. You can barely see it glimmer as soon as you enter the room. Look very closely at that skeleton. See that? That's the only hint you get.
Niches in the wall form stone burial beds. Ancient bones lie crumbling on the unyielding rock.
Oh, these pixel hunts,
Alexander
man.
notices that this skeleton has old
okay, it does
coins
mention
over
that.
its eyes. Alexander finds 2 coins on the skeleton's eyes. He takes the old coins.
Alright, let's move. Go back in the trap room.
Alexander hears a low growling, so faint as to seem born of his fired imagination rather than of any living creature.
Northeast again. North. And east. Thankfully the main path is not too bad. Oh!
Sounds! A trap floor!
Which is can be used to pay Sharon. Yeah, that guy's doomed once he gets to the underworld. Paying Sharon. Yeah, he died to the Minotaur. Now he doesn't have any plate coins left to pay Sharon.
Alexander seems to have fallen to a lower level of the catacombs.
Well, thankfully this fall didn't kill us.
Wherever he is, the place sure is dark. Alexander can't even see his hand in front of his face.
So this is where you need the third item, which I already mentioned. And if you wait around here long enough... take a little bit. Game is kind enough to give you plenty of time.
Alexander hears the scrabble of hooves in the dark room.
Hello? Tickets. Oh. Next.
Caught in the dark, Alexander?
You got critical hit. Oh no!
Alexander seems to have fallen to a lower level of the catacombs. Wherever he is, the place sure is dark. Alexander can't even see his hand in front of his face.
Okay, now we gotta use the tinderbox.
Alexander takes the candle from his tinderbox and uses the flint in the box to light it.
Aha! So that's why it's dark in here. A torch is out.
Alright. Save over 5 again.
Alexander lights the extinguished torch and puts his tinderbox away.
I just gotta keep walking west for a while, I believe. It's a bit hard to notice, but you can't go south here. I think this little indication hole in the background is supposed to indicate that you can go south. Maybe. Oh no, it's in these rooms too. East.
Alexander hears the sound of a wild beast again. This time, so loud that the creature itself seems to be in the same room with him. The noises are coming from the other side of the east wall.
Oh yeah, if you don't have like the hole in the wall at this point, then the Minotaur will just come in and kill you. That's not how you spell lab. Let's see if I can show that off, actually. I think you need to wait a bit.
Alexander doesn't need to use the hole in the wall on that wall.
Oh, you can only be certain. 4 required items.
Alexander hears sound.
I think if we just wait around, eventually it'll stop. Alternatively, actually.
Alexander puts the hole in the wall on the east wall. The hole in the wall trembles slightly.
Now, you can put the hole in the wall and also be an idiot that just stands around and doesn't look through it. You could do that.
The hole in the wall must have been startled by something on the other side of that wall. Before Alexander can look through it, it runs away in terror. Alexander hopes there wasn't anything important on the other side of that wall.
So yeah, if this happens...
Bad, Alexander has no way to see what's on the other side of that wall.
So yeah, the if this happens in the other room, if you're lucky, you'll be able to find the hole in the wall in a different room. But if you do it here, then it's instantly
Sounds
death.
get louder still, now coming from the west.
Uh-oh.
There he is.
Good. Just in time for dinner. Let's not be hasty now.
Just gored him.
Tickets out. Next.
Caught in a blind alley. If only Alexander could have seen what was coming.
Yes, yes, Mr. Narrator. I see what you're putting. I see what you're saying.
Alexander puts the hole in the wall on the east wall. The hole in the wall trembles slightly with dread at the clammy feeling of the stones. Alexander peers through the hole in the wall and sees just another room in the catacombs. Aha! Not just another room at all. So that's why Alexander couldn't find the Minotaur's lair. At least Alexander now knows the lair exists, somewhere in the maze on the other side of this wall. While Alexander contemplates what he's just seen, the hole in the wall, frightened by the Minotaur, makes a run for it.
Well,
Alexander hopes the little creature finds its way home to the Isle of Wonder.
yeah, good luck with that. Goes our hole in the wall. Now, we gotta go find its lair, whoever it is. West. 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 Oh, I hate going south. So finicky. North and north. And there it is.
A very beautiful, very dusty tapestry hangs on the wall.
Well, now let's go reveal his lair.
This tapestry looks familiar. Now let's see. I don't feel anything. Aha! A hidden latch.
Alexander triggers the little latch. A secret door rolls open.
By the way, there's one... I think I missed a death here. Because if you wander... Okay, I'll explain it later.
Please don't hurt me!
Your struggles are useless.
It's the Minotaur, and he's struggling with a Winged One's girl. She must be Lady Celeste. Alexander prepares to take on the Minotaur with his bare hands. He steps forward bravely and is spotted by Lady Celeste.
You there, human! Help me! Help!
Oh, well, there goes our cover.
Who dares enter my lair?
I ask you to release your captive or suffer the consequences.
Never. You die, human.
As the Minotaur advances in attack, Alexander slowly backs away. Until he can back away no more.
Now where to, little man?
Very convincing growling sounds. Get him, Alexander!
Alexander prepares to take on the Minotaur with his bare
Take the bull by the horns!
Hand-to-hand combat with a Minotaur is apparently not a great idea.
You're probably wondering where I got into this situation. I didn't hear a scream. Oh well.
Tickets. Oh. Next.
There's something to be said for taking the bull by the horns, Alexander.
Alright. So there's another death I missed. Like, if you wander around in the labyrinth, if you go into a certain room, you'll find the daughter, and she'll show up and be like, "Hey, Alexander, I escaped by myself. Now follow me to the exit." But it's a trick, like, you know, the old lady and the gardener and the little boy beforehand. So if you actually do follow her, you fall into a pit and die. So that's a death I missed. But it requires you to take the wrong path, I believe. So, whatever.
Alexander prepares to take on the Minotaur with his bare hands. He steps forward bravely and is spotted by Lady Celeste.
You there, human! Help me! Help!
Because they're like, I don't think it's the actual real Celeste in the, in that death mist that I missed.
To my lair.
Yeah, whatever.
I ask...
As the Minotaur advances in attack, Alexander slowly backs away.
Well, thankfully this puzzle isn't
Until he can
as
back away
dumb
no
as the
more.
last time we had to take on a big muscled monster in one of these games, like the Yeti. It actually makes a little bit of sense. So in order to get rid of the Minotaur...
The scarf is made of red silk.
Red.
Alexander prepares to take on the Minotaur with his bare hands. Alexander, his back inches from the fiery pit, tempts the Minotaur with the red
Yeah, the
queen's
Yeti is
scarf.
one of the stupidest
Look here, you bully!
puzzles in
Nice,
part in the series.
bright red.
It's so ridiculous. The pie. Iconic.
Red. Now you die.
It's okay. To beat the Minotaur, we just have to become the Matador.
The Minotaur drops from sight amidst the consuming flames. Slowly, his scream fades as well.
Have you been harmed, lady?
This was actually an SMT game the entire time.
No, I am not all right. I assume you do not intend to leave me tied up on this vile monstrosity.
Of course not. Sorry, let's see. If you'll give me a moment, I'll have these untied in no time.
I can't wait that long. Look, I wear a small dagger just inside my belt. It should be enough to cut the rope.
Oh, all right. I've got it, Lady Celeste. Here we go.
Thank you. You may keep the dagger as a gift for saving my life.
That's very generous.
Forget it. Do you mind if we just get out of here now?
The Winged One's guards, bored with the pointless waiting, are startled by the sound of rock moving against rock.
Lady Celeste, fight thee well.
I'm quite well, thanks to the bravery of a mere human. So much for your superior intellect.
Yes, milady.
Now bring him along. I'm going home.
Oh, we're going back.
I see you have proven yourself the hero of the prophecy. Well, I am expected to thank you for saving my daughter's life. So I thank you.
Yeah.
I am obliged to thank you for the restoration of our sacred catacombs.
So thanks.
It means much to our
Just
people.
says.
We have already begun the process of clearing the deadly traps from its rooms. It is also my duty to grant you a visit with the Oracle. So this I do. I will grant you the freedom to leave here unharmed, despite my orders to the contrary from the Crown. But there, my obligations to you end. I have no love for Alhazred, but he is my liege, and if Princess Cassima trusts him and wishes to wed him, my guards will take you to the Oracle now. When your time with her is through, I want you to leave the City of the Winged Ones and never return. I don't know who you are or what you want here, but I will not disobey my crown further.
I thank you, Lord Azure. I will respect your wishes.
Well, I mean, they did say that he kidnapped a bunch of kids, so, you know, he probably did escape and, like, you know, just took some of them to his lair. That's probably how he got the princess, too.
Hail to thee, great oracle. Lord Azure sends you this wingless mail. It appears that he solved the cliffs of logic and...
defeated the Minotaur in his lair. So I have seen. So this is the one that haunts my pool of late. Welcome, young seeker. What knowledge do you desire?
Princess Cassima, whatever you can tell me, great oracle.
Ah, of course, the princess. That explains my images. Let us see what we can see. I see a maiden, lovely and pure, but surrounded by evil. She's a rose set amidst bitter thorns. It is her fate to be the pawn of dark powers, and yours to try to redeem her.
How? How do I redeem her?
Fate is not like the cut of a blade, young one, but rather like the myriad of paths formed when a hammer cracks ice. I will tell you what I can, but what will actually come to pass is up to you. I see that any attempt to reach the girl will force you into battle, a struggle against a dark force. If you lose, your life will be forfeit.
Who must I fight?
A great darkness surrounds your adversary, preventing me from seeing clearly. I can only make out the shape of a black cloak. But before this final struggle, I see an infiltration, a dangerous game of hide-and-seek in corridors filled with enemies. The risks are high, but it is the only way to reach the one you seek. There is more than one way into this place. Your choice will dictate much.
Yeah, there are multiple ways to
What
do the
else do
final
you see,
section of the
mighty
game,
Oracle?
is what she's saying.
Oh, such pain. I see two restless spirits crying out for revenge. These shades could help you destroy the dark force if they were to be brought back from their spiritual form. Yet this is only one possible path to your destiny. I'm afraid this is getting beyond me. I know very little about the afterlife. I can only advise getting counsel from the druids. Be warned. The druids are reclusive and dangerous. They might aid you, or they might destroy you. Like their island, the druid's nature is hidden in the mists. There is nothing more I can do for you, except to give you this. It is water from the sacred pool. That and my blessing go with you.
Thank you, great Oracle.
There we go, and then he's like, yeah, okay, you saved my daughter, now get out of here and never return. Okay, so send us back here. Now, you can, if you want, climb all the way back and go back into the catacombs if you missed something. The game's kind enough to let you do that, and interestingly enough, like the king said, most of the traps are now disabled in there. They won't work anymore. So, like, you could go back into the tile room and just, like, step on whatever tiles you wanted. Which is nice, I guess. There's also, like, another unique death if you just go back to the Minotaur's lair and fall into the pit of fire, but I ain't doing that. That takes too much time. Okay, so... now that we're talking to the Oracle, we have two items.
The small dagger is a gift from Lady Celeste. Its handle is decorated with precious gems set in a delicate feminine style.
It's a feminine dagger.
The small vial contains the Oracle's sacred water. The water has a crystalline appearance.
Bit silly, that. Alright. So...
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
yeah, it's been forever since we've heard that. We can now go to the fifth island. Isle of the Mists.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Well, if it's the Lady Blade, then Alexander can't use it.
From the northeast come the sounds of mysterious drums and chanting.
So, Isle of Mist is very interesting.
Alexander is frozen at the spectacle before him. Robed figures are gathered around a bonfire. Some mystical ceremony is taking place. But as to its purpose, Alexander has no clue.
Basically, there are three screens on this island. The beach,
Alexander's
the
been
place you're
seen.
supposed to go, and
This
this.
must be the foreigner we were warned about. How appropriate that he should come during our rain festival. Place him in the sacrificial cage.
Wait! I must rescue the princess!
There's an ancient druid saying, a man who would save others must first save himself.
Alexander is pushed into the confining wicker cage.
I could have showed this off later, honestly, but it doesn't really matter.
And the cage is swung out over the bonfire. Alexander starts to feel a little warm.
So if we had the proper items, we might be able to do something here, but
The bottom of the cage is getting uncomfortably hot.
we do not. So, what happens? I'm sure you can tell.
Mercifully, Alexander passes out from the heat before the first tongues of flame ignite the wicker.
Yeah, that probably traumatized a couple kids.
Tickets. Oh. Next.
That was a bit too hot to handle. Alexander should have been better prepared.
Alright. So now we gotta go a different direction.
Alexander is frozen.
Brothers.
God, that's not it.
What? There.
Okay, we gotta go see Alexander get burned alive again.
And the cave.
I guess the game doesn't let you do anything if you don't have the proper items, you just die.
The bottom of the... Merciful.
We need to get this item though.
Tickets. Oh. Next.
It's walking. It's
That was a bit too hot
okay,
to handle.
yeah. Thank you, Mr. Narrator.
The island's tree.
There we go.
A communal fire pit occupies a place of honor in the center of the little village. The fire pit, naturally enough, contains coal.
Now remember,
Coals are cold. That's odd, because Alexander definitely smells the smoke of an open fire close by.
Thankfully, this is the screen that won't kill you. Also, you gotta make sure you get both of the items on this screen on your first visit here, because if you don't, you're screwed. Because if you try to visit this place later in the story, you die.
Alexander reaches into the fire pit and takes
Unless
a lump of coal.
certain circumstances, you know, it gets a little odd because this game has like two different endings, two different paths to the ending. Basically, it's alright, where the heck is the other one?
A horned animal skull is on display in the center of the village. Based on its central location, it may perhaps serve
Oh,
as
I see what we
ceremonial
did.
protection.
You see right
A
here?
wooden-handled scythe hangs against a bearskin on one of the tree houses.
We need a scythe too.
Alexander takes the scythe.
Yes, okay.
From the east come the sounds of mysterious drums and chanting.
Now we gotta get out of here. Now, if you remember, the chess piece queens were talking about a lump of coal. Those are the only things
From
two
the
things you need here.
northeast come the sounds of mysterious drums and...
So we should go and talk to them now. Because the chess people were talking about their
pulls
lumps
out
of
his
coal.
magic map.
Only one of them had a lump of coal to give, but if we gave them both a lump of the coal, there you go.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
You go back to the Island of Wonder.
There's a small bottle on the coffee table. It bears a label that reads, "Drink me." Alexander picks up the bottle.
Yeah, the wing people said there's something about them stealing something from them, but they said there's something about the wing... Yeah, the people in the Sacred Mountain Island said that these two stole something from them. And then but these two said that something got stolen from them by like the Minotaur or something, or someone on the Sacred Mountain Island. So it's kind of interesting because these two, because of the queens, and the winged people are both saying that someone stole something from them. It's very interesting. Alright, let's wait for them to come here.
Your Highness may as well spend her royal time contemplating something else. The lump of coal shall be sent to the Castle of the Crown under my name, and that's all there is to it.
No, it shan't.
Yes, it shall.
If the coal is sent in your name, I shall royally decree a ban on all red on this isle.
You do, and I shall royally decree that white shall be henceforth used for all mopping up of cabbage stew.
You wouldn't dare!
Oh, wouldn't I?
Oh, it's you! Have you thought of any more of those brilliant ideas of yours?
Here you go.
I found the two of you another lump of coal, so that you can stop fighting over the one you have.
Oh, let me see! A lump of coal! And what a beauty it is, too! Oh, marvelous! Now we can stop fighting, sister. Your Highness can just keep the old lump of coal, and I'll take this new one.
Quite right. That settles everything.
Hooray!
As a token of our endless esteem and royal favor, please accept this magnificent and truly incredible spoiled egg.
Thanks.
Odd choices in gifts,
Let
huh?
me see that lump of coal, Your Highness.
It is a beauty, isn't it?
Why, it's bigger than my lump of coal. Let me have it immediately.
Over my dead body, Your Highness. It's my lump of coal.
You
and
spoke
it is
too
indeed
soon.
Larger and much grander. Just look at that sheen.
I demand you exchange with me immediately.
Ooh. Nice one, Alexander. Alright. So, we have the egg here.
The spoiled egg has a slightly yellowed shell that bulges in spots from the pressure of the gases inside.
I don't think we have examined these
The
two.
little bottle contains some sort of potion and bears a label saying, "Drink me." That's rather forward of it. The peppermint leaves are the color of dark emeralds.
Okay. You know, I'm really sure like half the items in our inventory at this point are useless, but they just keeps them around. Because like we never technically got rid of them the way we did with things like the brick and stuff. So, one thing you can do.
Alexander is careful in handling the spoiled egg. That shell looks ready to burst.
You can use the egg.
Alexander cracks open the spoiled egg to see what's inside.
And make the game unwinnable.
Phew. Smells like sulfur.
The egg, shell and all, disintegrates into a cloud of evil-smelling gas which floats away. Ah, well, what possible use could Alexander have found for a spoiled egg?
What possible use indeed. So yeah, like I think on certain paths you do need the egg. And if you crack the egg openly because you're curious, that's just going to lead to you dying. Well, anyway, we're done here now. Alexander, please. Now, drink me matching
Alexander
cake.
pulls out his magic map.
I don't know. We'll see. Now we go back to the Isle of the
Alexander feels a
Beast
strange pulling sensation.
because we finally have the item necessary to get past that statue. It's one of the 12 million things we've gotten in the past half hour or so.
The scythe has a long curved blade and a wooden handle. The otherwise plain wooden shield is embellished with a silver cross.
Gotta use the shield on Alexander.
Alexander decides to pass through the gate, preparing the shield just in case. The magic arrow completely shatters the shield. Good thing the arrow didn't hit Alexander.
You're right, Tim.
Alexander walks forward to step onto the gazebo.
The amiibo gazebo. Oh,
But the rose hedges on either side of the path, sensing an intruder's presence, reach out their vines and blend together. The path is blocked.
this is why you need. And this is, yeah, he's his only
The
shot.
archer's bow is empty, his lone arrow spent.
This is why you need the scythe. So hopefully you didn't forget it.
The scythe feels heavy.
Cut through the leaves.
Alexander wields the scythe, determined to get past the magical rose hedges. The leaves fly as Alexander tries to cut the branches faster than they can grow back together. He sees light. He's through.
Hey.
Who dares enter Beast's garden?
My name is Alexander. I didn't mean to disturb your private garden.
By cutting it down.
And yet, monsieur, you could hardly have accidentally broken through the 3 enchanted traps of the Isle of the Beast.
I suppose it is simply my nature to break through enchanted traps.
You must be a prince, then. I know the nature of princes all too well. This face you see before you is hideous, is it not?
Well, for the face of a beast, it is really quite noble.
Ha! I'm glad you like it, for you will soon own one just like it. I too was once a pretty prince, caring for nothing but adventuring and rescuing fair maidens. But I rankled one too many evil hags. One dark night, I was turned into this obscenity you see before you, warped in shape and trapped on this enchanted island over 100 years ago.
Surely there is a way off this island.
Oh, sure.
I think we missed something, but it's
You
fine. We can
broke
get it on the way
in,
back.
did you not? And yet think, where would I go clad so eloquently as I am with this silk and this pelt? You see, my prison is also my sanctuary. You are the first to break through the barriers in lo these many years. That is, except for the druids who stole my heirloom coat of arms.
If there's any way I can help.
Help? You? I'm afraid you don't understand. The enchanted barriers were a warning and protection for you more than for me. Your prize for forcing your way past them is to join me in this dire life. By the laws of this sorcery, you are
Alright,
doomed
here
to
comes
be trapped in the form
another
of
interesting
a
part of the
beast.
game.
Your reward for broaching this garden is to be my slave. A slave as beastly as I am. You have only a few hours of humanity left.
But that's not possible. There must be some
And by
way
a
to
few
break the
hours, he
enchantment.
means like 3
Spells
minutes.
always have a weakness somewhere.
The enchantment you are under is tied to my own. Oh, the sorceress left me a way out. But I'm afraid it was only her final bitter joke. You see, I need only find a maiden to join me here, to share my castle, my life, willingly. Take another look at me. You can't help but admire the hag's terrible cruelty and cunning.
I shall try to find such a maid, for Casima's sake.
Truly? How determined.
No, not my sake, huh? I see how it
I
is.
personally would not waste my last few hours as a man on an impossible errand. However, you may do as you please. I give you this token. It's my family ring, and the only heirloom I have left. If perchance you should... if you think you have found a maid...
I shall give her this ring.
Yes, she must accept it of her own free will. By doing so, she accepts me. Not that you shall find anyone, mind you. Your time is short. Count the minutes on your fingers, while your fingers you have, pretty prince. Your master will await you.
Alright, we gotta move. At least we got points for, you know, getting cursed.
Alexander takes a magnificent white rose from the rose hedges.
We got a schmoove. Good thing I'm on the highest. This is why we have Alexander and rolling around at the speed of sound. Maximums. He's in maximum overdrive. We got the speed bet to maximum. Alexander, this is not the time!
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
Crown.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Boiling at the speed of sound. Jarlo, have I got the deal for you?
Jarlo, my friend, is the wedding still moving forward at the castle?
Prince Alex, egads, yes, that confounded wedding has the whole castle a bustle. Look, I didn't come here to talk about that, though. I came to warn you.
Warn me? About what? Isn't the wedding bad enough?
No, listen. The Wazir knows that you're here, Alexander. He's posted extra guards, and he's telling them about a foreign saboteur. Who else could he mean but you? The Wazir's genie must have learned of your presence in the land, Prince Alex. I don't know how, but he must have.
I haven't exactly been discreet, I'm afraid.
Alexander, this is serious. Alhazred will never let you get close to Cassima now. He's doubled the castle guard, probably to make sure you keep out. Gadzooks! Oh, it's too bad there isn't some way to convince Alhazred that you've left the islands or even died. If he thought you were out of the way, you might be able to get close enough to...
What an interesting thought. Tell me more about this genie.
The genie's name is Shamir Shamazel. Alhazred brought Shamir with him when he came to this kingdom. Shamir probably won't directly threaten you, but that doesn't mean he isn't dangerous. He can be a terrible trickster and an ingenious spy.
I don't think talking eats up the timer.
If we had that lamp, Alhazred and all of our problems...
Because if it does, then we're doomed the moment this conversation ends.
Wouldn't that be a fine thing?
You would wish to be master of such a wicked creature?
Oh, Shamir isn't necessarily evil. Genies never are, you know. They only reflect their own...
Okay, that's bullshit, because when I played King's Quest V, a genie killed me.
Is hardly a shining example for an impressionable genie.
So how do you
Well, they only kill me, but you know.
go about getting Shamir's lamp?
What? Oh, Prince Alex, I was only dreaming. I mean, the lamp is heavily guarded. It would be easier to steal Alhazred's own trousers while he's wearing them than it would be to get that lamp.
But surely a clown's hands are quick and agile.
Well, yes, they are, as a matter of fact. But then the theft would be detected almost immediately. And then... my poor neck.
If the theft were detected.
Oh, I see. Yes, well, there might be a slim chance, but only that. If you could find a replica of the genie's lamp, an exact replica, I might be able to make the swap. I alone might get close enough, but I couldn't tell you what to look for. I caught a glimpse of it only once.
I would know it if I saw it again, but to say I cannot.
Well, I'll just have to see what I can do.
Good luck to you then, Prince Alex. I really must be going back to the castle. I don't think I'll be able to come back here. If we were spied on, well, it's too high a risk. I hope you understand. If I see Cassima, I'll tell her I saw you. If you do ever make it to the castle, look me up. And do be careful, friend.
I will. Goodbye, Jalo. Thanks for all your help.
I can't believe our greatest ally is a clown. So it's very interesting, because technically you don't need to ever meet Jalo in the entire game to beat... You never need to meet Jalo to beat the game. Technically, you don't even have to go to the castle in the beginning to beat the game either. So it's kind of interesting. You don't need to meet Saladin, the dog guards. You don't need to meet Jalo. It's very interesting how the game just like... Just don't need to meet them at all. Fellow clowns. So, as I'm sure you've surmised, this is just a big metaphor for Beauty and the Beast. Now, if we wait long enough... Wow, I still have a lot of time left, huh? Yeah, you know, mix them all up. You know, Gabe, feel free to kill me at any moment. Wow, I must have really made good time, huh? It's a lot more generous than I remember it being. It probably exists, I think. Oh my god.
His skin begins.
Yeah, there we go.
His head throbs.
Wee, 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 wee.
Was that the beast you could do?
Hey. So as you can see, we get a unique game over for this because we're not dead. We're just transformed to some scaly thing. It's like I'm so used to seeing the Reaper and the Land of the Dead whenever we didn't actually die in this one. That's a nice change of pace, I guess. And again, maybe transforming into that little weird thing, fate worse than death.
The rose has a hue of the purest white. Beast's ring is made of pure, heavy gold and bears an insignia possibly related to Beast's princely past.
Okay, so first off, we give her the rose.
That would serve no...
Pardon me, maid. I hope you don't think me forward, but I see that you like roses. I thought you might, perhaps, like a fresh white rose.
Alexander can
Easy
see
there,
the
Alexander. You're not the
girl's
one
pretty
who's trying to
face
woo her.
as she fights between her distrust of him and her desire for the white rose. The rose wins.
Oh, I shouldn't, sir, but it is so lovely. I've never seen a rose of white. It looks so pale and delicate. Wherever did you find one of such a color?
There are many hedges of them on the Isle of the Beast, and they grow together like magic.
Oh, truly? What an adventure that must be to see them. But I should not speak so, especially to a stranger. Thank you for the rose, though, kind sir.
You gotta keep talking to her, I believe.
Do you live in this house, maid?
Well, my stepmother and her children live here. I live out back in the stables.
Your stepmother? Then you're not a... well, I thought you were...
A servant? I am, I suppose. You see, my mother died and my father remarried. He passed on shortly afterwards. My stepmother has no obligation to feed and clothe me. I only try to repay her for my upkeep as best I can.
I see. Is there anything I can do for you, maid? You look tired and hungry.
I'm
Well,
just
speaking of
fine.
enslavement.
Tell me, why do you not leave this place?
Where could I go? What would I do? Besides, I don't really mind the work, and I would miss my roses. I'm sorry, sir, but I don't...
Alexander has a thought about the serving girl. He decides to bring up the subject of Beast with her.
Let me tell you about the place where the white roses grow. The Isle of the Beast is an enchanted place. There's a path running through a deep forest. The path crosses 3 magic blockades, said to keep all visitors away. At the center lives a tremendous beast.
Really? Magic blockades? How exciting! What kind of a beast? Is it very terrifying and ferocious?
It is a beast that walks on 2 legs and dresses like a prince. It speaks with the voice of a man.
A beast that talks and wears clothes? How is that possible? Is the beast magic too?
Not magical, enchanted. Beast was once a prince, but a witch trapped him in the form of a beast and set him on the island. There he lives in a castle in the midst of a maze.
How terrible! Imagine how lonely he must be.
It is a very lonely prospect, isn't it? Oh, I have met him, you see. He is indeed ferocious, but who would not be?
He really exists? Oh, how it breaks my heart. If I could, I would tend to such a beast. Such a beast might find comfort in a kind face. Do you not think it so?
Oh, I think it's so. I very much think it's so. You would not be afraid of him?
Afraid? Maybe at first. But how silly of me to speak so. The roses in this little yard are the only magic I will ever see.
I could take you there. In fact, I would owe you my life if you would go. If you truly wish to go.
You are serious? I could leave here? Oh, I have always dreamt of leaving. But to actually go... This is the only home I have ever known.
Home is a hard place to leave, even if you're unhappy there.
But I will go. If I can help him, I must go.
Alright. Our latest traveling
nothing you
companion. We
wish
need
to
someone
take
to
with you?
replace the hole in the wall.
Nothing.
Then take this ring. It is his. He will be pleased if you would wear it.
Why, it's the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. Thank you kindly, sir.
Beauty! Where do you think you're going?
To a place where roses grow, and to someone who truly needs me.
Yep, and we cut. Immediately going back.
I see you wear my ring. You willingly agreed to spend your life here with me? Do you know what that means?
Yes, my lord, I do. I have been touched by your story.
Pity alone need not sentence you to endure this face.
Oh, but it is a gentle face, and kind.
You look at me so sweetly and are not repulsed. Oh, by the light of your eyes, my spirit soars.
The enchantment!
No,
It is broken!
I think he was a bit better
I
as
am
the beast,
pleased to
honestly.
have served you, my lord. Do you still wish me to stay?
What? Speak not such nonsense, Beauty. Do you think that I learned nothing of true love during my time here? You are my queen.
Oh, my clothes! This gown!
How well it suits your noble heart.
Alexander, how can I ever repay you? I have nothing to offer except my gratitude. But please, take these old clothes. Perhaps you'll find someone in need during your travels.
You have already repaid me by your example of courage, Beauty. And by your friendship, I hope.
You will always have our friendship and loyalty, Prince Alexander. But from a fellow adventurer, take some advice. If you find your true love, protect her with your life. Fear all beasts without the redeeming humanity of love. And to aid you, accept my mirror. Now that my life is no longer hung in false shadows, I have no need for it. Give it to someone with nothing to fear from the truth it reveals.
Thank you. I wish you both well.
Come, Beauty. Let me take you home.
His voice seems a little not as loud as some of the other characters, interestingly enough. But some of his lines. There you go. So, we got a few new items. So, for example, the maiden's clothes.
Beauty's old clothes are very ragged and heavy. They consist of a long, thick dress and a headpiece which covers the hair and most of the
Now, the
face.
maiden's clothes over here is actually a pretty important item that you kind of need.
A long strand of Beauty's blonde hair is caught in the mantle.
So, if you don't get this, you kind of get screwed over later. It's on some paths. There's another item that you can use if you don't get, or if you... So, there's another item that'll also... Basically, the maiden's clothes are kind of key to get into the castle, but if you don't get this, there's another item that lets you sneak in there, I believe.
There's no point in using it. Alexander searches through Beauty's clothes and finds a long strand of blonde hair.
I'm not gonna be able to show all the, there's a really oh, right, you know, because I remember what happens here.
Alexander...
Basically, since we're not going to be doing that path, I can explain what happens. Basically, I think it's like Alexander dresses as a woman in order to sneak into the castle, which leads to some unique game overs, like Alexander getting married to the vizier, and it's really weird. It's a really silly ending, I should say. It was either the vizier or the genie, I can't remember. But, like, yeah. It's like a joke ending that happens. Oh, I guess it's a game over, technically, but, like... But yeah, since we're not going to be doing... But yeah, you can still beat the game if you sneak in as a woman, but, you just have to make sure to avoid that and all the other game overs that happen during that path. Now then...
Beast's mirror consists of a piece of glass set into a decorative frame. The glass is unusually clear, and the image particularly true.
Okay, so... If you'll remember, we have...
There's no point in... Alexander has a look.
That's not what I wanted. The Make Main spell, what we need. Swamp Ooze, River Styx Water, 1 black feather. That's the magic paint spell.
Alexander There's no point in... Alexander is carrying...
Okay, what we do now... is we need to use our sacred water.
Examines the oracle's vial.
On lamp. Right. That's what you do?
Alexander
Maybe the other way around? Lamp on the vial?
Alexander rubs... The lamp is not ready for the fountain water.
What do you want me to do, game? Oh my goodness.
The small vial contains... Alexander examines... Alexander drinks the oracle...
That's not what we're supposed to do. I feel like I might have missed something. I don't think I have.
Speaking the incant... This is the first...
There we go. Okay, this is it. Alright, so the second page. Make rain spell. Few drops salt water not from the sea. 1 vial sacred water. Falling water. First mix salt and sacred waters in a teapot. Oh, okay, you have to be in the teapot. Okay, that's what I was mixing. Salt and sacred mountains deeper than that. It's falling water. Speak incantation over about heat burn. Okay. Into the teapot.
There's no point... Alexander is carrying an old, battered hunter's lamp. The lamp contains baby's tears. The little china teacup contains swamp ooze.
I think I'm gonna mess something up, actually. Oh dear.
The small... Alexander... The book is used to cast spells on
That might be bad.
The fountain water might do for falling water, it's true. But the make rain spell calls for a teapot. That looks nothing like...
What do you mean it looks nothing like a teapot?
The little china teacup is made of fine porcelain. The teacup contains... Alexander is carrying... The lamp contains baby's tears.
I feel like I'm doing this right, but... Maybe it's just really finicky.
Why do that?
There we go! Oh my god! That is so finicky.
Alexander fills the hunter's lamp to the brim with the fountain water.
Okay, good. It was just really specific place I need to click, I guess. Okay. It's kind of the thing with these games. Just kind of what are some of the things you gotta deal with. So what's next? I think we go go back to the crown, I believe. Oh wait, we gotta. Okay. Now we got that figured out.
Alexander prepares to enchant the hunter's lamp with the Make Rain spell incantation.
Clouds of thunder, shafts of light, come and sup with me tonight. Waters 3 have I for tea, brew a tempest now for me.
Okay.
The lamp in Alexander's hand gives a little perk. He hopes the spell works despite his makeshift teapot.
I think it works. I think we just use it again later. Let's grab another white
Alexander takes
rose
a magnificent white rose from the
for the
rose
road
hedge.
ahead. I'm sure they won't mind if we take another one. You'll notice that we have, we use the hair. I think we used the hair in the spell. I believe so. Yeah, we're gonna need a second rose for a moment. Just a moment. See why. Use the magic map.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
We go back in the Isle of the Crown.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
So the first thing we need to do is remember when we, tamed this bird like 2 hours ago? Technically we could do this a long time ago, but it's more convenient to just do it all now.
Alexander's ring is made of the purest gold and has the insignia of the royal family of Daventry on its face.
Now, there are 3 items you need to give to this bird. If you give this bird anything except for the wing, you will not get a necessary item, which sucks. Because there are several items you can give to it, but only the ring. And if you give the ring first, will give you the item that you need. At least I think that's how it works, and it's kind of annoying. So give it the ring.
Alexander holds out his insignia ring to the Nightingale, hoping she perhaps is the Nightingale that Jallo spoke of, and that she might be able to take the ring to Cosima. The ring is the one thing he has that might alert Cosima to his presence on the Isles.
So yeah, Jallo's the one that hints at what this Nightingale's purpose is, but you can do it without talking to him, of course.
The Nightingale swoops down and grabs the ring. She flies off towards the castle, perhaps to Cosima.
I guess it sort of makes sense, because the ring is the only thing that you can really identify himself with, but still.
A gold ring? Sing Sing, where did you get this? Realm of Daventry. But this is Alexander's ring. Oh, my soul, he must be here. Sing Sing, I wish you could tell me what you've seen. Is he really here then, on this very island? Oh, if only I could leave this castle as easily as you. Take this ribbon, Sing Sing. If you know where he is, return it to him. Please be careful, Alexander. It is so dangerous, and yet I could not wish you away.
Yeah, she won't give you the ribbon if you don't give it the ring. So yeah.
The little bird makes a delivery.
Yeah, if we're going for the... I
It's a
feel
red velvet hand
like...
ribbon. Could it be? Could it possibly belong to Cosima herself?
Or am I merely wishing it were so? Oh.
Alright, lover boy, calm down. So, if we were going for, like, the first path, the quick ending to this game, we could probably knock it out this stream. But since we're not, this will probably take 3 streams. Because the complete path is a bit longer.
The lady's hair ribbon is made of the finest red velvet.
Okay. Now we want to give it the love
Alexander has a
poetry.
love poem from a book in the bookshop. Alexander holds out the love poem, hoping that the bird will deliver it to the same place she took the ring, in the chance that the receiver might truly be Cosima. The nightingale swoops down, grabs the love poem, and takes it towards the castle.
Sing, sing, my sweet. You bring another present. Let me see. It is a poem, Sing Sing.
What was it when I looked at you? What power has chained me through and through, and binds my heart with links so tight, I cannot live without the sight of you.
Oh, Alexander. I was hoping he'd return to you. Take this to him while he waits. Hurry, my fleet one.
The little bird makes a delivery. Although the nightingale seemed... It's a note.
Dearest Alexander, I cannot believe you are here, my friend.
Damn.
Please, please
Friend.
be careful. Abdul isn't about to let anyone interfere with his plans. Watch out for Abdul's genie, Alexander, and do not do anything rash. I am not without resources, and I will prevail if I can only find some small means of defense. Do nothing to try to get to me. You must not be endangered again for my sake. Greatly in your family's debt, Cosima.
Alexander's hand trembles as he reads the note. For the first time in his long search, he has heard her voice again, if only in writing. No words of love, only friendly concern. Friend. Is the maiden merely shy, or does she regard him only as a brother?
I think friend means friend, personally, but you know, that's just me. Alright, so final thing we need.
Alexander is carrying a message.
Yeah, she sent us, it was good. We sent her the poetry, and then she gave us a letter back telling us to watch out for the genie. Something I forgot to mention, the whole Beauty and the Beast quest, you can actually get soft locked on that, because, one of the things you can do, that the game will let you do, is you can trade the magic map for Alexander's ring. Obviously you don't want to do this, you want to use the pearl, because the pearl doesn't have any other purpose aside from being traded for the ring. But if you trade the magic map for your ring, and then you go talk to Beauty, you're just kinda stuck. It creates a weird situation. I mean, like, you have to I think what you do is that you talk to Beast, he puts the curse on you, you travel to this island, you trade the map for Alexander's ring, and then you talk to Beauty. I mean, mind you, that's one of the soft locks that, like, okay, you'd have to be trying to do that, to be fair. It's just something really funny. It's like, that's a soft lock that you have to deliberately go out of your way to invoke, because there's no way you'd be that stupid to do. The average player would be that stupid to do that. Oh, also the copper
The 2 coins from the skeleton.
Yeah, okay, we need these coins for later, because if you don't have them, you get soft-locked. There are a lot of items we have that we didn't get to be soft-locked. But, what else? We need to give one more item to this bird. Oh, right, the rose, that's what we need to give.
This rose. Alexander holds out the rose, hoping that the bird will deliver it to Cosima. The nightingale takes the rose and heads for the castle once more.
A white rose. How beautiful. It must be from Alexander. How I wish that I could see him with my own eyes, but Abdul will never allow it. He only risks capture by sending me these things, dear to my heart though they are. Fly elsewhere, my pretty friend. Do not endanger Prince Alexander again by taking tokens from his hand. Forgive me, Alexander, and forget me. I cannot return your love, for fear that I shall never leave this castle again.
Alexander waits in vain for Cosima's nightingale to return, but the bird does not. Could there be something wrong? Or does Cosima simply not welcome his attentions further?
Welp, it seems that our affections won't be returned. How sad. There's only one thing to do now. Well, here's some solid life advice with Blazing as an emblem. Whenever something goes wrong in your life, just drink the problems away.
Alexander decides to swallow the potion in the bottle labeled "Drink Me" to see what happens. Suddenly, his vision fades to black. His lungs become too heavy to breathe. His heartbeat slows.
Wait, I wasn't supposed to do this here. Oops.
Then beats no more. Suddenly, his heart takes a lurch, then beats strong. His chest heaves like that of a newborn. His vision clears, and Alexander feels fine.
Phew. For a minute there, I thought, what if someone else had seen me and thought, sounds?
So, don't do that. Where nobody can see you. Otherwise, you get soft-locked, because leave the habits. Oh, hey, look. It's our good friend, Matt.
An old beggar is peddling.
It's our old friend, the lamp dude.
He offers a variety of lamps, all neatly lined up on a long pole.
So what we gotta do is go into the pawn shop.
Good day, Prince Alexander.
And we'll see our good friend, the spy.
A mysterious old man also patronizes the pawn shop.
Now, if you remember, Jala was like, oh no, Prince Alexander, if only there was some way for you to fake your death so that the Vizier and his genie would stop pursuing you throughout the island and you'd be free to do whatever you want. But alas, there's nothing you can do to fake your death. And I was like, don't worry, Jalo, I got this.
Alexander suddenly gets a very sneaky idea.
I can't go on anymore. Without Cosima, I'd just rather not live.
Prince Alex, no.
It's true. The Vizier has beaten me. I give up. Poison is my last resort.
Stop.
I am no more.
Oh, what a waste. The poor young fool.
He's dead. He's dead. Wait until Abdul hears. He'll be so pleased.
Seconds later, in the castle.
I told you not to pop in like that. You can learn to knock like everybody else. Sorry, Master. I couldn't help myself. I have great news. Well, what is it? Prince Alexander is dead. He killed himself in despair over losing Cassima. What? Are you positive? That young man has proven to be most devious. I saw the whole thing myself, Master. He was really and truly quite dead. If what you say is true, it shall be most convenient. You've spent enough time on that little irritant. We must start thinking about the wedding. Anything, Master? Oh, I do love weddings. Well, we do want you to look your prettiest, don't we? Now, Shamir Shamazel, to the lamp with you. Prepare yourself, as we discussed.
Alexander's heart lurches to life in his chest.
Prince Alex, but you were...
Sorry, friend. I was doing a little acting, I'm afraid.
Ah, of course, the strange cloaked man. You are quite clever, and a bit too exciting for an old man.
Alright, so, now that we've done that, let's see our old... Now we have two choices to do. We can either do the quick path or the long path. We're going to be doing the long path because that's the one that gets us the most
Prince
points.
Alexander.
Now, if we were doing... Now, first things first, we don't need the tinderbox anymore, so let's exchange it.
Would you mind if I traded this in?
Of course, Prince Alex. Please choose something in exchange for the items on the counter.
Alexander looks closely at the items on the counter to make his selection.
So the quick path, we just immediately go to the castle at this point. But since we're doing the long path... Now, in order to do that, you need to get the Nightingale. Now, if you go in the short path, if you go into the castle without taking the Nightingale, it's a soft lock. Because you can't leave then, and you need the Nightingale for certain parts. So instead... But, since we're taking the long path, we instead take the paintbrush, the only item we've never used before.
I think I'd like the painter's brush.
Very good, Prince Alex. The painter's brush it is. May your painting go well. Feel free to bring back the brush at any time.
Thank you.
Some of the voice acting is a little mixed bag, but you know, it's fine. Hello there! Hello there, Marius.
Alexander sees
007.
nothing particularly interesting there.
Welcome to the stream. Okay. So, very first thing we gotta do in the long path, let's go back to the beach. Save again, and...
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
And the moment we go to the
Alexander
Isle of
feels a strange
Mist...
pulling sensation.
The druids are immediately here.
Great gods, did you see that? The man just appeared from nowhere.
Perhaps he was sent by the spirits. I see no boat.
He is an intruder, no matter how he got here. Grab him!
So this is why you need to get the piece of coal and the scythe on your first visit
Not
here.
again. Look, I'll leave. It's no problem.
I think not. Let's go.
Because if you do not, then you can't go back for them. Because these guys
Alexander
immediately
is
capture you.
frozen at the spectacle before him. Robed figures are gathered around a bonfire. Some mystical ceremony is taking place. But as to its purpose, Alexander has no clue.
We found a trespasser on the beach, Archdruid.
Uh-oh. Archdruid. Now what has Alexander wandered into?
This must be the foreigner we were warned about. How appropriate that he should come during our rain festival. Place him in the sacrificial cage.
Wait! I must rescue the princess!
There's an ancient druid.
Yeah, I don't think you
saying,
can.
A man who would save
You need to get him the first
must
time, because if you leave the island and then try to come back,
Alexander is pushed into
the
confining wicker
druids
cage.
will capture you and put you in the cage. Yeah. And if you don't get the scythe, that means you can't make.
And the cage is swung out over the
I think once we
bonfire.
get through this section, we'll be able to explore that place, but it won't matter, right? Right, because you need the
Alexander
scythe.
starts to feel a little warm.
You need the scythe.
The bottom of the cage is getting uncomfortably hot. This cage is really hot.
Yeah, you need the scythe in order to
Fire in
get
the
to
cage.
Beast's area. In order to make the
Alexander
Make
pulls
Wayne
out Beauty's
spell.
old slave clothes, desperate to beat out the flames. As he does so, a strand of Beauty's hair that had been caught in the metal comes free of the clothes. The flame is extinguished, but the clothes themselves burn to cinders.
Did I not?
Alexander won't be able to keep the cage from igniting for long. The heat and movement must have jarred something.
Hold on. I think
Something that
I
Alexander's
must have
carrying
mixed
is
something.
starting to jiggle around. Egad, something's really percolating. The water in Alexander's lamp is hot. It's just about boiling. Alexander feels a drop. It starts to rain.
So yeah, you need the scythe in order to get all the ingredients you need for the Make Rain spell, but if you miss the scythe on the first visit, then obviously you're not going to be able to survive this. And it becomes a soft lock. Later, after a short but furious thunderstorm.
I must apologize for our rude welcoming committee. We've been feeling inhospitable ever since the winged ones stole our sacred miniature oak tree. Besides,
Unhospitable is a bit of an understatement.
That we were to watch out for a highly dangerous foreign assassin. I assume you are the one he meant.
I'm sure I'm precisely who he meant. I assure you, I mean to harm no one, unless that person threatens the princess. I'm sorry to have disrupted your ceremony, but I'm running out of time.
What is it that you seek?
The Oracle on the Isle of the Sacred Mountain told me I should speak to you about the Realm of the Dead. She told me of 2 souls in unrest there that I might be able to free.
Free souls in the Realm of the Dead? You're mad.
The souls might be able to help me on my
Yeah,
mission.
that's the
to
third
save
time
the
people have
princess.
mentioned getting stolen
it's
from.
imperative that I do everything I can. The risks are not important.
No. And yet getting yourself killed will hardly help the princess. But I will tell you what I know. Legend has it that it is the right of any human to challenge the Lord of the Dead in order to save his own life or the life of another already past. But the knowledge of how to do this was lost centuries ago. I have only heard of one who tried it, a young knight who came to the land of the Green Isles from a distant land long ago. According to the story, he was determined to challenge the Lord of the Dead for the soul of his dead lover. It is said that he tamed the Lord of the Dead's horse, a black-winged, demon-hearted beast named Nightmare.
Get it?
Nightmare sometimes flies to the human world to feed on certain noxious plants. Those unfortunate enough to see her are glad to escape with their very souls intact. Somehow the night captured Nightmare and rode off on her back, supposedly to the realm of the dead. But neither the knight nor his lover ever returned. If there was a means for challenge, it was lost with the night.
I see. Can you tell me anything about the Lord of the Dead?
That is a blacker matter still. To the druids, he is Samhain, Lord of Coldness and Despair. Samhain was once a man like you or I, but he insulted the gods and was sentenced to rule the underworld. Immortal he is and mateless, robbed of sleep, robbed of movement, robbed of companionship. It is said that he hates all mortals even more for the mortality that he lost. That is all I know.
Interesting. I shall remember.
Now look how the oak embers of our bonfire still glow hot despite the rain. If you're bent on your course, you'll need courage that's just as impervious to the chill. May your luck last longer than your storm, brave one.
May it indeed. Thank you, Archdruid.
I think I might have screwed something up, so we might have to do this whole thing over again. Let me check my inventory. That's not my inventory. Oh, hey, look! Okay, that's actually really kind of the game for freeing the hair automatically.
Alexander has a single strand of Beauty's golden hair. The lady's hair ribbon is...
This is the hair strand that come from a dress.
Beauty's golden hair.
It mentioned that it was part of the dress. Well, Alexander used it to fight off the flames.
Alexander has a single strand of Beauty's golden hair.
We're gonna need that eventually. I was worried that it got burned in the fire too, alongside the dress, but it did not. That's nice.
Alexander has already had enough cloak.
Okay. Oh. So now we gotta use the skull for collecting embers? It's kind of weird.
Alexander scoops up some of the red-hot embers in the ancient human skull.
Like in his mouth?
Alexander is carrying a human skull filled with embers. The embers are glowing.
Now then, if you look at the spell...
Alexander is carrying a...
If we will look at our spell book, I believe... There's one more thing. Charm your creature of the night spell. One skull full of hot oak embers, that would be why. A bit of sulfur, brimstone, and one strand of a pure-hearted maiden's hair. Add hair and brimstone to the skull of embers in the presence of creature. Speak incantation over skull.
Alexander puts the strand of hair into the skull.
Put the hair there, and put an egg there.
Alexander cracks the spoiled egg and dumps it into the skull containing the embers and the strand of hair. The spoiled egg hisses as it makes contact with the hot embers. Zounds, the steam. Phew, the smell of sulfur.
Okay, so I lied. There's actually one more thing we gotta go to Island of the Sacred Mountain for. I can just save over it. This one again.
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
We gotta climb all the way up. Damn it.
The steps cannot be moved any further backwards or forwards.
Carefully now. Okay, good. It skips. They're like, yeah, all right, you get it.
Arrives at the top
You get the point.
cliffs, somewhat winded after his long but uneventful climb.
There he is. They said he likes feeding on really nasty plants. So there you go.
A mighty winged horse, the color of midnight, is feeding from the nightshade bush. The creature must be Nightmare, the one the druids spoke about. The sound of She flies off.
So yeah, don't do that. Don't scare it off. I think it comes back if you leave the screen. But just in case, don't do that. Okay, so now we gotta go back to our spell book. Now that we have the item we need, all the items we need.
Alexander solemnly speaks the incantation over the skull.
Creature of night, to me succumb. Fire and brimstone leave thee numb. Purity bind thee like a chain, to do whate'er I now ordain.
Nightmare flares her nostrils at the scent of the fire and brimstone.
That's it. Come on. I need passage to your homeland, fiery one.
To the land of the dead.
The power of the enchanted smell. Nightmare approaches Alexander. Her eyes appear glassy and sightless. In her hypnotized state, she is unaware of the humans so close to her flank, or of anything at all except that marvelous smell.
Now ride!
Nightmare deposits Alexander on a strange, cold world. And some of the inhabitants don't look too friendly.
Alright. Let's go say hello.
One of the wandering ghouls brushes up against Alexander. The touch of the putrid flesh dissolves the living matter like acid.
Dead.
Tickets.
Well, at least it was a short trip.
Alexander's mother always told him to avoid bad ghouls.
Gotta be careful. Game.
Who are you, moving spirits?
I am Queen Ilaria of the land of the Green Isles, and this beloved spirit is my husband, King Caliphan. We were murdered in our beds by our trusted Wizir. Like a viper, he snuck in during the night and stabbed us in our sleep. Now my husband's soul is broken.
How did he explain that away?
Not speak.
Then you are the ones I seek. Are you not the parents of Princess Cassima?
Our daughter! Have you news of the princess?
I know that she is alive and safely back in her kingdom after being rescued from Mordak. But I'm afraid I have not personally seen her. Alhazred is keeping her in her room in mourning for you.
I am glad to hear of her return, but she will not be safe alone with that devil. Oh, that we could be there to protect her.
Cosima, how I fail thee.
My poor husband will never rest while our murder goes unavenged and our daughter is in danger.
I came
Am I
to
gonna
take you
die
back
as soon
with
as this conversation
Your
ends?
people are still loyal
Because the
to
ghoul's
you.
right there.
They need to know about the Wazir. Cosima needs you too.
But this is the realm of the dead. We cannot leave it. Nor, for that matter, can you. The only one who might be able to return us all to the land of the living is the Lord of the Dead. But he would never help us. He has no mercy.
I might be able to convince him. I must try.
Then take this. It is my ticket to the underworld. There you will find the Lord of the Dead. I cannot use the ticket as long as I'm chained here. And if we cannot be avenged, I will never be unchained.
Thank you. Perhaps it will save us all.
Be careful, young man. If you can ease my husband's torment and help our daughter, we will be most grateful.
I will do my best. Goodbye, Queen Ilaria.
At the touch of the...
Cool. Very cool game. Thanks for that.
Tickets. Oh. Next.
Alexander
I guess we got to use that ticket sooner than we thought, huh?
Who are you?
Oh my
guardian
god.
Spirits?
I am... We were... Now...
I...
Then I...
Thank...
Be careful.
I will...
At the touch...
That is so dumb.
Tickets. Oh. Next.
Fine, I'll be patient. See what that works.
Mother...
Because he
Who
pauses
are you,
for a bit before he
breathing
immediately
spirits?
walks over to
I am
them.
Queen Ilaria,
Automatically.
of the land of the Green Isles, and this beloved spirit is my husband, King Caliphan. We were murdered in our beds by our trusted Wazir. Like a viper, he snuck in during the night and stabbed us in our sleep. Now my husband's soul is broken, and he...
We've seen this before, actually.
I can't...
The...
I'm...
Then I...
Thank...
So there are several items to grab in this place, and since we can't come back here at all, if you miss even one of them, you're kind of doomed for the rest of the game, because you need everything here. So, don't miss anything. It's easy when you put it like that. Alexander, please. What direction do I even go here? Yeah, it's east, right? There we go. I feel like just right on the edge of the screen. Like here, don't forget to talk to this lady, even though the ghost from before killed us. This one's perfectly fine. Yeah, sure.
Where is my little boy? Ollie.
I guess the ghouls and the ghosts are different.
Alexander hesitated.
Why do you not rest, sad spirit?
Rest? I cannot rest. My son is lost.
Lost? You mean in this realm?
No. His spirit is stuck in the land of the living, probably looking for me. But I cannot leave to go show him the way. My poor Ali.
Is there anything I can do?
Take this handkerchief. If you get back to the land of the living and find him, tell him that his mother is waiting for him here. By this kiss, he'll be able to find his way to the realm of the dead.
I'll do my best to find him.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, my Ali.
So yep, make sure you don't miss the plank. Alexander, move! Alexander, move!
The skeleton to the left.
Oh hey,
of the
look, it's a
path
game over
means
music.
Something to the spirits that approach the underworld entrance.
Ticket, please. Next.
So don't go in there yet, or else you'll miss an item that you need. Play the xylophone.
Alexander picks up the two bones on the ground. Now, what do these bones remind him of?
Ah, yes. Now I remember.
The skeletons are overcome with the musical call of the bones. They begin to jiggle, then to dance.
Uh-huh. I'm glad there's some levity in the land of the dead.
Alexander finishes his tune, and the skeletons resume their posts. Despite their frolic, they don't seem any friendlier.
But as you can see,
a key made of bone has fallen from the skeleton's key. Alexander picks up the skeleton key.
Get it? Skeleton key.
Alexander.
Might I get...
The skeleton with the tickets must not approve of Alex.
Alright, gotta give him a ticket.
The ghostly ticket reads, Admit 1.
Here you go.
That skeleton has plenty of tickets and isn't interested in the one that Queen allowed.
Oh, why we give it to this guy?
I have a ticket.
Go on. Next.
Can you go back to that room area? I'm curious. Oh, they won't let you!
The world refuses to budge. As with all things of this realm, there is no turning back.
Better not have missed the key or handkerchief. The pits.
Alexander slips off the path and plunges into the river Styx. As soon as the water touches his skin, Alexander's mind and body go numb. He sinks like a lifeless stone.
Well, that doesn't make sense. We were just here.
Tickets. Oh. Next.
Hey, what a fix. Bathing in the river Styx. Apparently, Alexander's not the only one who's curious about the body on the path. The knight is wearing one black gauntlet. There appears to be some writing on the gauntlet, but Alexander can't quite make out what it says.
Don't forget the gauntlet, or else you'll lose the game.
Takes the knight's black gauntlet and examines the writing on it. Flesh may cross the portal and seek its master, death. Flesh may go where death is trod, and challenge, like Scheherazade, he who reigns beneath the sod to spare a mortal's breath. Zounds, that sounds serious.
It's just a gauntlet you need.
The gauntlet is made flesh.
Okay. I mean, the teacup.
Alexander scoops a little of the river Styx into the teacup with the swamp ooze, being careful not to get any of the black water on his skin.
Save again just to be sure. Better hope you found those coins in the labyrinth. Otherwise, you're stuck.
Where those 2 coins have been for the past few hundred years at least.
But if you loiter around here too much. I like he hands out it. I like when he puts out his hand when you get close. It's like, yeah, I know why you're here. Come on, come on. I think if you loiter around too much. Might take a bit. Yeah, maybe that dead knight was the dude we stole his play coins from. He's just stuck here on the other side. Alright, seriously, Sharon, you're gonna go and not. I'll give it another minute or two. Because I think Sharon just leaves if you wait too long. Any day now, Sharon. I'm trying to show off the deaths here, buddy. Can you cooperate with me? Wow, they really give you a lot of time.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go.
Charon appears to be readying the boat to leave.
Wait! I must get across the river.
Apparently, Charon doesn't intend to let travelers without fare loiter on the shores of his river.
Well, guess what, Sharon? You're gonna have to deal with me again.
Next.
You can't kill me twice.
Hey, that's not fair.
Hey, nice one, Mr. Narrator. Alright. See them stupid coins.
Will these coins do as fare for passage?
Charon accepts the fare and waves Alexander onto the boat.
I think we're just gonna complete this section of the game, and then we'll leave the final section for the third stream.
The large wooden... Alexander reaches suddenly. The wood trembles beneath his fingertips.
Hi.
What touch has awakened my sleep. I smell the blood of a mortal. Reach out thine hand again, fleshy human, that I might devour it. It has been centuries since I last ate.
Well, since he asked so politely.
Alexander decides to try to force the gate open.
Tickets. Oh. Next.
It must have been love at first bite.
Let's talk to him instead.
Despite his fear, Alexander summons his bravest voice to command the living gate.
I would pass, Gate. I have business with your master.
My master and thine, human. I would be pleased to introduce thee. Only step forward and thou shalt meet him shortly.
No, thank you. I come to meet the Lord of the Dead with my flesh still intact.
And why should I let you pass, human, when I would much rather eat you?
I have been told that there is a way for humans to enter Death's realm. There must be something I can do. Some task that will allow me to pass through your doors, Gate.
I seem to recall something. A trick. Perhaps a test. Yes. Should a human try to pass, a riddle is Gate's wont to ask.
A riddle it is, then.
And if thou wouldst fail to answer, Gate, his thirsty jaws will be thy fate.
Agreed.
Listen as though it meant thy life then, human, for it surely does.
Oh boy.
My first is foremost legally. My second circles outwardly. My third leads all in victory. My fourth twice ends a nominee. My whole is this gate's only key.
My first is foremost legally. My second circles outwardly. My third leads all in victory. My fourth twice ends a nominee. My whole is this gate's only key.
Alright. This is a pretty interesting riddle. If you get the trick of it. Do you have a guess? I know what the answer is, but... Think you can hazard a guess? I wonder if this is on a time. I don't think this is on a timer, but... Any guesses in chat? Going once. Going twice. Going 3 times. Okay. My first is foremost legally. The first letter and foremost is L. My second circles outwardly. The letter that circles outwardly, O. My third leads all in victory. V for victory. My fourth twice ends a nominee. The 2 letters at the end of the word nominee are both
The answer is love.
Thou traitor of the mortal plane! How
How
didst
corny.
thou guess love? That riddle should never have been solved. Love is unknown in this realm.
Love cannot be banished, even from this place. There are spirits still pining of it on the surface above. Still less can it be banished from my heart.
Enough! Burden me not with thy poetry. Pass through, and quickly, before I change my mind.
There he is, good old Death.
The servants of the Lord of the Dead stand silently at the head of the path to his throne. In the center of the great cavern, the Lord of the Dead reigns over the hosts of the dead. He waves spirits into the sea of souls in an endless stream. What things the spirits tell him are best unheard by mortal ears.
So yeah, if you screw up the riddle, you get the same death as if you just tried to force open the door.
Alexander approaches the throne of the Lord of the Dead.
Why have you entered my domain, still wearing your flesh? If you are so anxious for death, you might have found it easily enough in the land of the living.
Oh, trust me, I have.
But since you are here, you are most welcome to stay. Kiss my hand, and you will be one with the spirits. There will be no pain.
Oh, since he asked so nicely.
There's nothing there that can... There's no... As though sensing Alexander's desire to touch him, the Lord of the Dead reaches out his hand. As the Lord of the Dead's hand touches his shoulder, Alexander's mind fades to blackness.
Death waits for no man. I think there's unused audio of the narrator actually voicing this line, but he just doesn't for some reason. Interesting.
I seek a boon, my lord.
Why should...
I think we gotta do is use the gauntlet on him?
I did not come here to die, but to demand my right of challenge. I respectfully challenge thee, Death, by throwing down this gauntlet.
Yeah, hopefully you didn't leave the gauntlet behind.
And seek its master, Death. Man may pass where death has trod, and challenge like Scheherazade, he who reigns beneath the sod, to spare a mortal.
So yeah, obviously if you...
He has the gauntlet!
Impossible!
Obviously if you get the gauntlet,
Death.
you die here.
Who are you to challenge death?
Because if you don't do anything, then you just die too. Same as touching him.
What is it that you seek with this challenge? The soul of some dead maiden?
I seek the souls of King Califim and Queen Ilaria of the land of the Green Isles.
You would save 2 human souls and emerge alive from this realm yourself? That shall be a difficult challenge indeed. The tomb does not open its doors lightly.
Either all 3 of us leave, or none go.
Very well. Then let me think of an appropriate task. Ah, yes. I have it now. Your challenge is this. For thousands of years I have sat upon this throne. I have heard every sad tale that can be told by human lips. I have seen tragedies that ended empires, injustices that defy reason, love that would light the very stars turn cold and hard. I have seen torments that cannot possibly be borne, and yet must be for centuries. This thing I have never done. I have never shed a tear. Make me cry, thou man of flesh. That is my challenge.
If only we had an
Make
onion.
Death cry?
But we do not.
Sooner could he turn sea to stone, or fire to ice.
Alright. What item will we use? Will it be the magic map? What is this again?
Alexander is carrying a book from...
Yeah, the really boring book. I mean, bore him to tears, maybe? The paintbrush, the dagger, the feather, the stinky plant, the handkerchief. That'd be something you use when you're already crying, but... The lamp, the mirror, the peppermint leaf.
Alexander is carrying a message.
Oh, wait. Seema's love letter, the rabbit's foot, the ribbon, the scythe, the skeleton key, the magic book, or the teapot. What could possibly make the Lord of the Dead cry? Well, the answer to that... Oh, this is another one of those infamous puzzles, you know? Can you possibly have a guess? It is the building up suspense a bit. It's the mirror.
Alexander examines beast.
If your existence has been all that you say it has, then truth alone shall be my sword.
The mirror's surface swirls with darkness for a moment, then fills with images even blacker. Reflections of despair, of wailing souls, of shackles colder and more immutable than any forged by man, of a world of thirsts that can never be quenched. Alexander feels the mirror tremble in his grasp, and is glad that he cannot see its face. But the Lord of the Dead is transfixed to the mirror, to the screening of his life. Things long forgotten are once more uncovered. His enslavement to this throne while still a man, the years of watching misery and horror and growing ever more numb to it, the seep of his own humanity, the slow growth of a new thing altogether which became that which he is now. His is an existence that has no possibility of redemption, no end. The surrounding spirits draw away in pain. The truth is so sharp it stabs, so intense it sears.
Take it away. Make it stop.
A single tear
cracks from the strain, and death sheds a single gray tear.
Truth is indeed a terrible thing. I have worn this mantle for so long, I had forgotten its dreadful weight. You shall take the souls and leave as I agreed. You have been granted to stay from this inevitable reality. I almost envy you. Find the souls he has claimed and bring them to me. King Caliphim and Queen Alaria, I presume. Your hero has won you a few more years of mortality. May your souls be more prepared for their rest when you return.
Thank you, my lord. I hope that they will.
And you, man of flesh, my steed shall take the three of you back to the land of the living. Tell her where it is you wish to go. Until we meet again, then, I assure you, we will meet again.
No offense, my lord, but I hope that will be many long years from now.
It is never as long as you might wish, mortal. Now, begone.
Yes, my lord.
Get on the horse. Let's get out of here.
Are you coming, Majesty?
Alhazred's treachery must be handled carefully, Alexander. Alari and I must go gather our allies and form a plan. Watch over Casima. Make sure she comes to no harm. We will return as soon as we can to take back all that has been stolen from us.
I will keep her safe until your return.
Thank you, son. Your love for our daughter must be deep indeed for you to have undertaken death itself for our sakes.
Indeed. May we succeed in what awaits us, and live long together as a family.
There they go. Now there's one last thing we need to do before the final act, and we're just going to do that because it takes like a minute. So our good friend, the lamp peddler's here, and if you remember, Jarlo said that he could possibly make the exchange. If we were able to get a lamp that a version of the genie's lamp. Now, so basically we need to get a lamp that looks exactly like the Shamir's lamp that Alhazred has. So we talk to this dude.
Hello, is anyone here?
No one
Alexander,
Good day,
please.
peddler.
Good day, sir.
Isn't it a rather
We've seen that dialogue before. Now if we exchange our old lamp that we don't need anymore.
Excuse me, peddler, but I have an old lamp that might interest you.
Ah, an old lamp. And what a nice traditional design, too. Take your pick of my new lamps.
Look at all these lamps. Only one of them works. If you pick the wrong lamp, you can't beat the game. Well, technically you can, but it's not the best way to beat the game. Because if you don't pick the right lamp, you can use the peppermint leaf instead of the lamp. But that leads to like less points, I think, in the end. So ideally you want to get the best lamp on the first try. And if you'll remember, right after Alexander right after Alexander faked his death, there was a cutscene that showed Alhazred and Shamir, the genie, talking to each other, and it showed Shamir going inside of his lamp. And that is how the player, and that is the only time you see Shamir's lamp in the game. So that was how the player is supposed to remember what the lamp looks like. It's this tall blue one.
A fine choice, my son. Here is your new lamp.
Now how? Now.
And I thank you, sir.
Good day.
Now how Alexander is supposed to know what's the right lamp? He can't. So this plot point's kind of silly, because there's absolutely no way Alexander should know what lamp he's supposed to be using.
Another dud.
So it's a little silly. Who the heck's this dude?
Hello.
No one answered. Alexander has obtained a new lamp made of blue-colored glass with a tall, thin neck and a cork-like cap.
So the things, the player knows that it's right, but Alexander has no idea. Well. And that's it. After that silly little thing, we're gonna be ending off the stream right here. I could probably just, maybe I could finish it tomorrow, we'll see. Tomorrow, same time. Anyway, tomorrow, maybe tomorrow we will be finishing off in the final act of this game. But for now, that will be all of this stream. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.